I promise I'm not going to crash it this time. So, what I want to do with this video is just show you how easy it is to take advantage of AS3X Plus. I've got the NX10 and I've done the update, so now it's an AS3X Plus. I can take full advantage of the offerings within that ecosystem. And then we're going to show you how to set up reverse thrust with the stick programming once that's done. And I will show you how to assign safe to a switch as well. So I think this is going to be an all-in-one video that shows you how to set this up. I've already flown this, I've already set it up, but I'll start with a brand new blank profile and show you what that looks like. I have done another video on how to set up flight modes and safe on a receiver that's been updated and or factory reset. So basically an open stock receiver. The things look a little different in the menus and there's a little bit more to it. This is actually going to be easier than that. But if you want to see how to set one up that's been factory reset, basically open stock or updated, I will put that video in the description box below. It's a good one, down and dirty, on the radio, shows you exactly how to do it. Check that video out. Let's get into it. Full charge for the battery. We are going to go ahead and get this bound up. Okay, so I'm plugged in. You can hear the plane beeping. I'm going to put the receiver in bind mode by pressing the 5-bar Spectrum logo. Now that's in bind mode. Now we're going to go back over to the radio. You can hear that the plane is beeping. We're going to go ahead and select bind. You can hear that the plane is now bound, and here we have the benefit of AS3X Plus. It's going to ask me right here and tell me that the receiver contains a preloaded smart model file. Do you want to load the file from the receiver? Yes. If you want to do it by the book, you can select skip. I'm going to go ahead and take the AS3X Plus file, even though I know it's going to put the rates on individual switches, which I don't prefer. Okay, so I'm going to say load. That will overwrite all current model settings. In case you set up on a profile that pre-existed, you can say confirm here and stand by. Now you notice that there's no timer here because this thing is going to be running on like real-time telemetry. So voltage instead of time. You can still set time if you want. So now that the model file has been set up, what's also interesting is that throttle cut has already been done. You can see it's been set. Normally, if you didn't do this AS3X profile, it would be inhibited and you would have to select what you want. It's already done. For this plane, on switch H is where it defaults. And you heard the throttle. Now I flip throttle cut and it doesn't work, which is what you want and what you need to go into forward programming. And you'll see also by taking advantage of the AS3X Plus file that the rates are already set up as well. Aileron goes to switch F if you take advantage of this file. Elevator goes to switch C and rudder to switch G. And that's what the book would be asking for also if you were to set it up manually. So we go to forward programming. And it's never been easier to set up a bind and fly than with this AS3X Plus. So you go right to gyro settings and you can go to safe select if you want safe. And you're going to put the B switch in the position you want for safe to be. And I like mine towards me. And you can see it says safe in here twice. So the bottom one is a blanket statement. So even if you're not in safe mode, it's still going to say that safe select is on once you've enabled it into your plane. So safe select is on, and the switch position I'm in, it's also on. And I did that on purpose where I put the switch where I wanted it when I turned this on. And so now if you cycle through the modes on that B switch, you'll see that it, just like I said, it's going to say safe select on as a blanket statement, but in this mode it's off. And for AS3X modes it doesn't change, but once I go to safe, it does. And you can see that this is already set to aux 7. It's really actually never been easier, which is killer. The default gains for AS3X on this plane are 13, 68, and 15, as proved evident by cycling those two flight mode positions for AS3X. If I wanted to change the gains, I'll just simply roll down here and do it. So my farthest away from me, AS3X, I can change the gain. So right now it's at, you know, what the book gives you, what the receiver gives you. I'm fine with that, but a lot of times on a plug and play, especially, you'll set up safe, you'll go with AS3X gains, and then you'll set up a 0 for just emergency. Or if you want to know what it's like with no stability, you can have a way out. And I'm doing it because I just want to show you. That's my timer telling me it's time to go. So you can see now when I cycle through the gain switch, my safe and AS3X mode switch, that the gains are going to change. So flight mode 1 for me is where safe is at, which is why you don't see AS3X gains, but the safe gains are there. So fantastic. I mean, this is done. So the plane is all set up and it's got safe on it. The only thing left to do is show you how to do reverse thrust. Reverse thrust is something that you're going to access the menu for from the monitor. So I'm not pressing in, I'm just simply scrolling over. And sometimes folks are looking for, and here's actually a good look at your safe gains, by the way. That's what they are. And I didn't have to do anything. So here is what some people are going to get hung up looking for, the avian programming menu. But this is what it says now. And it also says up elevator and left aileron to enter this menu. I'm going to do that and hold it for 5 to 10 seconds like it says. But more than likely, it's not going to work. In my experience, this seems to work better when you do it right away. Like after turning on the plane. So since we just set up the whole plane, I'm not surprised at all that this doesn't work here. So what I'm going to do is relieve that stick input, unplug the plane and plug it back in, and this is going to work. Watch. Okay, so we are getting into the reverse thrust part at this point. And you can see earlier we tried to get into this menu and we couldn't get past here. So we unplugged the plane and plugged it back in. And now up elevator, left aileron for 5 to 10 seconds. We'll see that it moves to step 2. And then we're going to do step 2, which is up elevator, right aileron. And now it takes us to the menu. And so this is how it looks if you've never set up reverse thrust, and this is a regular out-of-the-box plane that's not been programmed at all with the ESC. So the way you get around the menus here is you toggle down. And there's a lot of stuff to look at, but you don't need to mess with most of this at all. So the first thing you're going to do is brake type. Now, it comes by default as disabled. We're going to move the stick to the right or the left to cycle through menu options. And what we want is reverse. So now you can toggle down to the next one. And the max brake force that you can do is 7, and that's generally what it's going to be. So you just move the sticks to the right to get 7. Now you can keep on going. So you stick down. You don't need anything on this page. And then motor rotate. So when you enable the thrust reverse, which is going to be assigned to a channel and a switch, if you don't change this, it's not going to do anything. So you have to make it counterclockwise, which is reverse thrust, right? And then so that's done. And now you toggle down. And seems like by default it goes to channel 7. But you're already using channel 7 for safe, so you have to be smart here and pick another channel. So basically channel 8 aux 3 is where this is going to end up being. And you have to exit with save or it will not retain any of the things you just made for changes. So here we go. We're going to go toggle down to exit with save, and then right aileron, we're selecting that. Okay, now we have to see where our channel 8 aux 3 is set to. And this is where we get to put it on the switch we want. Now, we'll see what it defaults to. Aux 8. We selected it when we were doing the ESC programming, but right now your reverse thrust is not going to work until it's been assigned to somewhere. So, and again, aux 7 is safe, and it's the B switch is already busy. When I do reverse thrust, I generally put it on the E switch, but you could put it in a number of places. But you don't want to double assign. You don't want to ever see really two letters doing the same job here. So we're going to put it on E. And we're actually done. So I'm going to test it right here real quick. Okay, so now that I'm back into the main menu, I've got my E switch all the way forward. My plane goes forward. If I put it in the middle position, my plane goes forward. If I put it all the way down, that's where I get my thrust reverse. So when you assign it to a 3-position switch, 2 of those locations are going to be one or the other. So we've done it. We set up reverse thrust. We set it up by the new book, which is saying yes to the upload. And we've got reverse thrust. We have safe, super easy. All the rates are on their individual switches still. If you want to see how I put them all on one switch, I said I was going to put it at the end of the video. The video is too long already. Tell me in the comments below if you want to see how I assign it to a 1-switch operation instead of 3. And keep in mind, the one reason why I do this is not only is it make it easier to have the rates all on one switch, but why is that important? If you're somebody who utilizes safe or you're learning how to fly, you want your plane to be in high rate when you are in safe. Because safe diminishes the control throw deflection by a substantial amount. And if you're in low rate and safe at the same time, you're going to feel like you've got nothing. Like it's mushy, so to say. So, and the old books used to say the same thing, where you want to be in high rate if you're going to be in safe. And so, instead of worrying about 3 switches, I have it all on one. If you want to see how I put the dual rates all on one, let me know in the comments below. I think it makes sense to take advantage of that upload file if you're not slick at setting some of this stuff up, because it really has gotten so much easier. It's crazy. Check out the video I did on flight modes with an open stock, freshly reset or updated receiver. It walks you through that more complicated process that I'm more familiar with. I'll put that link to that video in the description or the pinned comment down there. It's worth watching. Down and dirty on the sticks, made to help you. Been doing this a long time. Love RC. Do a lot of truck stuff now, 3D printing, things like that, but I will always love airplanes. My first love in the hobby. Tell me in the comments below what you'd like to see a tutorial on next, and whatever people ask for the most, that's what we'll do. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.